It's still not telling the correct time. We're a minute over. I think we have a couple of apologies. Jack Hemingway is on holiday, and George Eyre, I think, is on his way, so we'll see what happens. Can we approve the minutes of the meeting on the 17th of June?
Approved.
Yep. Okay. I haven't any announcements. With no urgent items, there are some pink papers, but unless anyone wants to ask any questions, then we would have to exclude the press and public, but we'll see how we go on that one. And then I draw members' attention to item 6, declaration of interest. So we go on to the reports. Items 7 and 8, Michelle, are yours. Would you like to take them together?
Yes, thank you. These are our commissioning framework for both care at home, so domiciliary care, and bed-based care, so residential and nursing care support is through a pseudo-dynamic purchasing system. So the proposal is to extend the current arrangements from domiciliary care until 2027. This was originally only able to extend until 2025, but we need to be pragmatic with that and extend it further. The bed-based residential and nursing arrangement was extended for a year in December 2024, and I did fetch that decision here. However, the new proposal is to extend it until 2028. The reason for these extensions are that we need to understand the impact of the changes at the ICB, to check that we'll still have those arrangements in place, check what they might look like, and also to ensure that the new model and specifications that we want to put in the pseudo-dynamic purchasing systems align with our maximising independence programme. So without extending it, we'd risk that we'd have a process that wouldn't be fit for purpose. And with that, I just asked you to approve the recommended.
Yeah. Any questions, any comments? No? No? Okay, can we agree to both reports? Agreed. Thanks very much. Item 9, Margaret, the Senate Sufficiency Programme.
Yes, thank you, Leader. I'm pleased to present the paper today on the next stage of our Senate Sufficiency Programme, a vital area of work that's already having a real, measurable impact on the lives of children, young people and their families across our district. We all know the pressures that we as a children's service are facing, rising demand, increasing complexity of needs, and the imperative to ensure children are supported closer to home in settings that are right for them. Phase 1 of the programme was our response to that challenge, and I want to start by highlighting just a few of the benefits we've already seen. Since 2021, 47 schools across the district have secured funding to create new specialist places in local schools, reducing the need for out-of-area placements and helping more children stay connected to their communities. Several mainstream schools are now equipped with enhanced resource bases, offering inclusive support within familiar settings. Importantly, we have seen evidence of improved outcomes, better attendance, to increased engagement in learning. The High Needs Capital Grant Scheme 2023-24 case study report, attached to this Cabinet report, highlights the work already done in some of our schools and the positive impact, outcomes and feedback of that work. That's a great foundation, but we also know that demand is continuing to grow. So the paper you have in front of you sets out our next steps, building on that success, scaling up delivery and targeting provision where it is needed most to support sufficiency. The next phase focuses on developing more specialist units within mainstream settings and strengthening the partnership approach within schools and providers to make this sustainable in the long term. We are not just aiming to create more places, we are committed to creating the right places, provision that is high quality, inclusive and truly responsive to the needs of our children and young people, including those with social, emotional, mental health needs. So today I am asking Cabinet to support the recommendations set out in the paper at option 1 to approve the spending of the high needs provision capital allocations from the Department for Education to support the provision of new school places and to improve existing school provision for children with SEND or requiring alternative provision to help us to deliver the kind of local inclusive SEND provision that families rightly expect and deserve. Thank you. Happy to take any questions.
Thanks very much, Margaret. Are there any questions? Dan?
Not particularly a question, but just a comment. It's fantastic to see, and you can see from the numbers the difference this is actually making on the ground. I'm just looking at the example of Treasury Academy here, where you can see a 31 decrease in overall behaviour incidents and 42 decrease in suspensions. That's what it's all about, and that's what we're doing. So a big thank you to you and the team for bringing this, Margaret.
Excellent.
A comment as well, really. I think the point that we can't emphasise enough how important it is to kind of keep children locally, and the impact that will help in the points that you were just making there, Dan, in terms of attendance and attainment. So I think it's brilliant.
Yes, thank you.
Michelle?
Thanks, Nisha. Margaret, I just think the report itself is just telling a really wonderful story. I know firsthand sort of how difficult it can be for a SEND child who has gone through mainstream, because often our SEND children won't automatically go to specialist provision when they're entering mainstream education. When they're entering school, they will have built up them peer groups, they will have built them friendships, that community within their own schools, and then to be removed from them, to be put into a specialist provision where often children have to get the taxis there, where they're all from different areas, can be very isolating outside of education as well, because they don't have that friendship group around them within the local community. So I think anything that we can do to provide schools with the tools and sort of the strength-based knowledge and all that stuff to be able to keep people and children in their local schools, in their local communities, is only going to have positive impacts, and I welcome everything that we're doing in this area.
Yeah. It does make an amazing difference to these children, and I've been around some of the facilities, and it's absolutely amazing what's being created out there.
I think we're all saying, Margaret, that this paper really shows the importance that we put on this. It really matters, and it's an excellent report. Thank you for bringing it to us. So with that, can we agree? Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. Item 10 is the Strategic Regeneration Partnership for Wakefield City Centre. Obviously it would be Jack's paper, but I'll be dealing with this today, and David will be coming in at some point. So following Cabinet approvals in July last year to procure a strategic partnership for Wakefield City Centre, and in January of this year we appointed Muse as the preferred bidder in that procurement process. Cabinet is now being asked to approve the entering into a development agreement with Muse for a period of 15 years in accordance with the heads of terms, including in a confidential Appendix 1. Working with Muse provides the Council with considerable additional capacity and expertise that will drive regeneration in the city centre and allow us to consolidate and connect the retail offer, promote city centre living and improve connectivity and accessibility for all, providing new commercial opportunities and create leisure provision. Why we're doing this really is that it matters so much that we deal with this in our town centres, but we haven't got the capacity within the council to deal with this. So bringing a private sector developer in really is the way forward, and it has worked in other areas, but we feel that it would be really beneficial to us. There is robust governance in place, with myself as leader of the council chairing the partnership strategic board that meets every 2 months and includes senior representatives from Muse as well as from Homes England and WICA as key public sector stakeholders, and they're very supportive of what we do, and we had our first meeting in June and they were very, very supportive of what we were doing. The 2 priority areas that we'll initially focus on and produce project proposals are for the Cathedral Quarter and the Borough Roadside. The Cathedral Quarter proposal will explore opportunities into diversity uses that will drive footfall and dwell time in the city centre, including new homes with a range of tenure types. It will also address connectivity challenges to the waterfront and other parts of the city, the lack of green space and poor quality public realm. The Borough Road project proposal will review how to best maximise the potential of this important gateway site and ensure that high quality and end use is delivered that meets the needs for local residents, businesses and visitors to our city. The Cathedral Quarter and the Borough Road project are anticipated to go to the strategic board before coming to Cabinet for final approval. Once projects are in delivery, Muse will then move their focus onto other parts of the city. The development agreement will include a variety of provisions to if this becomes necessary. This is to protect the interests of the council and Muse as a strategic regeneration partner. This is an incredibly exciting time for the Wakefield City Centre and a real chance to deliver transformation. David, do you want to come in now?
I've not much else to
Not
add to
much
what you
to
said there. Really. My notes are sort of reflecting on what you said. It is the next phase of the process for setting up the strategic regeneration part. I think it's about the third or fourth step in the process. It is about approving the development agreement, the delegations to relevant officers, though it must be stressed that individual projects will still come to Cabinet for approval. We're not sort of giving a bank check in any way by what we're doing. So I think it is important we recognise the scale of what we'd like to see in a way. There's a scale of what we'd like to see in Wakefield, and I think it's an important part of how we deliver that.
Any questions? Any comments? Matthew?
Yeah, it is very, very exciting, Denise, something that we're all looking forward to. Our city and town centre are all changing. We know that. We know people don't shop like they used to do. I see that throughout Yorkshire and where my own family has a business in Scunthorpe, the amount of shops that are shutting down there. So this is about how we now realign our city centres and make them a destination place, make about hospitality, make about people living there, green spaces. So I think this is really, really exciting, and it's something that is just going to transform Wakefield, and obviously we move on to our other cities. So yeah, very exciting.
Anyone else? Okay. Can we agree the report? Agree. Thank you much. Well, the next item is equally as exciting because it's about Castleford. And I'm pleased to introduce to Cabinet today the report which reaffirms the Council's commitment to a long-term 10-15-year housing and economic growth and regeneration strategy for Castleford. Castleford presents a significant opportunity for high-quality housing, economic growth and regeneration, which with the right level investment and maximise our regional connectivity will ensure that Castleford will fill its potential and become a vibrant, sustainable and distinctive riverside market town that plays a key role in the economic future, both for the district and the wider West Yorkshire region. This report seeks approval to launch the procurement of a dedicated regeneration partner for Castleford with the commercial acumen, capacity and proven track record to complement the Council's existing regeneration team. This will help unlock growth opportunities and secure future funding to complement the current Towns Fund investment programme and the emerging plan for neighbourhood funding. The report also seeks approval to dispose of the Castleford Civic Centre and Assembly Rooms to the Castleford Academy Trust. Following assessment and evaluation of a number of expressions of interest, the proposal put forward by Castleford Academy was considered to be the most preferable overall. The site will be redeveloped by the Academy using the Department for Education School Rebuildings Programme, which will enhance education provision for Castleford. Last but not least, the report provides an overview of the government new plan for neighbourhood funding, excuse me, which has allocated further investment of 20 million over the next 10 years and outlines the process for submitting the regeneration plan to government securing this funding. I'm confident that this report and its recommendations seeking approval will provide the framework for ensuing an ongoing and future long-term regeneration for Castleford, and I recommend this Cabinet approval for this report. Just going back to the Civic Centre, it will be a loss of a community asset in Castleford, but what we want to do is obviously education facilities, but also an arts centre for the school, which all the local community groups, we have a variety of talent in Castleford, choirs, bands, different groups, all wanting somewhere where they can actually go and perform, and losing the Civic Centre will be sad for them in a way, because they have been using that. So we've had assurances that part of this project will be that we move forward with an arts centre and facilities, but will be used by all the community groups and the people of Castleford. Because people of Castleford feel that that's their building, so they want it replacing with something that matters to them. So I just wanted to make that point. But with that, I move the report. Does anybody want to comment? Matthew?
Yeah, Denise, someone that grew up in Castleford and lives in Castleford, I really welcome this. And we've had a bit of a taster, I think. I mean, I remember sitting in a meeting 20 years ago with talking about the Navigation Point development on the old Lamson site. There was a chemical works. And to go around that state now is amazing. It's absolutely amazing to look at that state by the river now it's been opened up. So I just really welcome the report and some of the things we're doing in here today. I think it's really a positive for Castleford, and the Civic Centre, you know, fetching more educational use into the town is going to be really welcomed as well. So I think it's a brilliant report, and thank you.
Thank you for that. Anyone at Dan?
Yeah, just I think we talk about this a lot, but Castleford's really strategic transport links that it has to Leeds. It's a real opportunity to get people moving backwards and forwards and to put money straight into our local economy, especially where we need it. And I think it's a really positive report.
Right, thank you. Hannah?
Excuse me. Yeah, really certainly welcome those comments about the Arts Centre. But I think these last two papers demonstrate our ambition for the city centre and the district as a whole, and our commitment to that. So I welcome both of those papers, and exciting times for both areas.
Thank you. Margaret?
Yeah, I can appreciate that the community will miss having the civic centre. It's good that there's plans in place to accommodate that. But I think the development of the education side of it is just amazing, because it's going to help even more of our young people.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So with that, can we agree the report?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Item 12 is the paper on the facilities management property operating model. David?
Thank you. Thank you, Ida. Yeah, this is a proposal to start a procurement process for a managing agent for facilities. It's to approve a mini competition through the Crown Commercial Services framework process, and then the delegation to award the contract and the transfer to support the costs. The managing agent is a new approach. There's been discussions going back a couple of years, I think, in terms of the best approach that we can take about it, but this would someone who would sort of hold data on the state of our estate and could commission work for us through it. Our current partner for a lot of that work is Robertson's. I think a lot of work will still stay with Robertson's, but it allows things like to expand the range of providers. One of the things that we wanted to do is make greater use of local suppliers and things like that, and it's a framework that will support that as well in terms of what we're doing. So with that, I'm with it.
Okay, any comments, any questions? Margaret?
I just think it's a fabulous idea that we actually involve in local people, local firms. It shows that we're working to develop commercially outside of that original framework we had.
Okay. Anyone else? Can we agree the report? Okay, thanks very much. Item 13 is the financial health report. As you know, the purpose of the report is to inform Cabinet of the financial health of the authority for 25-26. The report really sets out all we need to do, but the outcome forecast position is an overspend of 7.1 million, which is equivalent to 2.3% of the net revenue budget. Service savings and efficiency targets of 29 million were approved by full council for 2025-26 at the end of May, and a total of 18.8 million in savings were assessed in delivery on targets to be delivered in the year. The savings are not expected to be delivered, and those that are delivered are detailed within are set out in detail within section 3.6 of the report. Total reserves are now forecast at 65 million at the year end, a reduction of 16.9 million in the financial year, which includes the funding of expected overspend. Cabinet are asked to note the recommendations as set out in section 2 of the report. Okay, thank you. Can we agree the report?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And then the next item is the draft district plan, and I'm pleased to present this report to Cabinet. Before I go any further, can I just start by recognising the incredible commitment and enthusiasm for those across the Wakefield Together partnership and our elected members, which has led to the development of the draft Wakefield district plan. It just couldn't have happened without them. My sincere thanks to Councillor Hemingway and Councillor Wilton, who led 2 dedicated member engagement sessions where we spoke with elected members from across most of our wards and providing a clear, visible support and buy-in on behalf of the Council at our partnership summit in May. The draft district plan is not a council plan, it's a partnership plan with the development led by partners from across a wide range of organisations following months of engagement via several key lines of inquiry. The key messages were presented to a wider audience at the Partnership Summit on 19th of May. That was the responding support for the vision for a stronger Wakefield district. The vision is supported by 6 ambitions and 22 outcomes that we will seek to achieve over the next 10 years. A set of principles to guide the way we work together and some actions that we can crack on over the next 12 months. The draft plan is currently being considered to each of our key partners' governance mechanisms, and that is why I've brought it to Cabinet today. This process will take place over the summer months. We're expecting to officially launch the plan at the end of September at another partnership meeting. This does not mean that we wait until we start thinking of how we make it reality. We've not rested on our laurels with some significant bits of work already underway. The Wakefield Futures Commission is now exploring how the district can create and attract high-level skilled workers and is due to report in September. I had a briefing on that yesterday from the head of the Commission, and it was really, yes, there wasn't brilliant news. We're not performing well in the skills, but the way forward that we can move forward will be absolutely amazing, and we were right to set up this commission to move forward and work with partners. And major regeneration work about the urban centres through Wakefield and Castleford regeneration partnerships, developing a new neighbourhood coordination model to be piloted in Agbury, a partner-developed community cohesion strategy to support community integration, collaboration and engagement, and taking forward the development of a series of pilot approaches to target support at those with complex lives. This plan is an exciting development. Now is the time to be bold. Now is the time to work better, smarter and harder. Now is the time to deliver improved outcomes for our residents and businesses. So I ask you to support this report, but I'll take any questions down.
Yeah, just quickly, I think huge praise to the team for pulling this together, because this is really something quite fantastic. And as you said, and to emphasise, this isn't a council plan, this is a district-wide plan, and it's currently going through the governance structures of those of our partners. And what has been incredible is just the amount of engagement across the district of people wanting to be involved, people getting on board, especially in my area, which is the Safer Communities key line of inquiry. There's so much opportunity here. As you say, this isn't a plan we're going to finish and then put it on the shelf. This is something that's going to be constantly evolving, constantly moving forward. So I'm really excited to see what this is going to look like in a few months.
Yeah, great. Hannah?
Yeah, echo what Dan said there as well, and I think it's worth noting that we've got really strong foundations to build anyway. When we think about kind of culture and creativity in terms of kind of well-being, bringing communities together, you know, whether it's Licorice Festival, whether it's Rhubarb Festival, whether it was the Hatch Lid, they're full of the feel-good factor. Obviously great for our residents, but the impact that then has on our high streets as well. So we've got really strong foundations, so I think we can be confident. And just finally, that day, that summit that we had, the sense of shared purpose, like you said, the enthusiasm, the excitement for it, again, it's something else I think that we can really look forward to.
Yeah, thank you for that. Anyone else? Okay, can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Item 15, David.
All right, I wasn't sure if we were both listed
You're
for
on,
that.
I'll give
Okay,
you a turn.
okay. Yes, this is the annual report for Treasury management. It's a very important factor of what we do as a council, that we manage the money that we have well. This report has also been to audit, and we're seeing it here to go on to full council. In terms of it gives the facts and figures are there in terms of the sort of changes in long-term indebtedness and so on that we have. But it's I think the thing I'd stress to people is it's something that we manage, and that's the key thing.
Yeah, thank you for that. Any questions, comments? Can we agree the report?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Item 16 is the Vital Signs Performance Report. It's set out in the report where we're going. It's to provide an update on the council's performance against its vital signs indicators for Q4 and the year-end position for 24-25. Anybody want to ask anything? Are we okay with the report? Can we agree with that? Thanks very much. Thanks very much, everybody.